Ava, I heard you bought a house. Is it a detached house?
I've been missing you, mother-in-law. Yes, it's a second-hand one.
But it seems to be a big detached house, doesn't it? How nice. I'm jealous of your apparently good life.
That's not true. It was old and run down, so I could buy it cheaper than the market price. And it's big just because it's a countryside house.
But you renovated it and made it beautiful, didn't you? These days, renovating your own house is trendy. I've seen it on TV and videos.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So, when are you moving?
Next month.
Oh, that's soon. You should have told me.
I was planning to report it at some point. I'm sorry it's late.
My son is not good at communication. Unless I contact him, he doesn't call or text. I wonder if he's still holding on to the past.
Are you talking about the story that you guys used his scholarship money a long time ago?
Oh, you've heard about it.
Used the scholarship money in gambling.
Right. My husband squandered it on horse racing.
Because of that, he became a struggling student. I heard he had to work part-time a lot. But most of his part-time job money was taken by his father.
Life was hard at that time. I had no choice but to use my son's part-time job money to repay the debt. I feel bad for my son, but I guess it can't be helped. We're a family, we have to help each other.
But he ended up bearing the repayment of the scholarship money you squandered in gambling, right?
Yes. Originally, the person who received the scholarship should repay it. Even if we say he squandered it, it wasn't the full amount. It's also true that we used it for his tuition. It's only natural for him to repay it.
I feel like my husband's burden is too great.
But he's working for a good company now, isn't he? And he has the financial power to buy a detached house. Repaying the scholarship wouldn't be a big deal, and my son agreed to it.
Is that so?
Well, who cares about that anymore? I contacted you because I have something important to talk about.
Something important?
Yes, we've decided to live with you. See you next month.
Excuse me? You mean live together?
Yes. It seems you've bought a very large house. It's too big for two people to live in it. We also wanted to live in a detached house with a garden, so we thought it would be just right.
Please wait a moment. It's hard for me to respond to such a sudden proposal. You haven't talked to my husband about this, have you?
It'll be fine with my son. He'll definitely agree. He's always been a good listener.
But that's a problem. We have our own circumstances too.
What circumstances?
My husband was recently diagnosed with a disease. Cancer.
Cancer?
This happened right before we're about to move. We're still shocked. My husband will have a tough fight with the disease from now on, so we don't have the luxury to think about living together.
No, if that's the case, it's even more perfect. I can help with nursing care. So let's live together.
No, I can do it by myself. Anyway, we don't have the luxury to live together.
What are you talking about? It's hard to take care of him and do housework all by yourself, isn't it? What if you get sick too? If there were more people doing the housework, it'll be easier for you. You can focus on my son's treatment.
That might be the case, but...
Right? Leave it to me. Let's live happily together.
Mother-in-law? What is this terrible state of the house? I was away for just one day and it's like a garbage dump.
Welcome back. If you're back, please clean up. The kitchen smells.
Please do some of it yourself. And please don't let my husband drive. Now is the time when he's feeling the worst from the side effects.
But it was raining, so it can't be helped. We can't go anywhere without a car in such a rural area.
Even so, please don't treat a sick person like a driver. What would you do if something happened to my husband?
Ugh, you're so annoying. If you're going to say that much, you should pick up and drop off.
Where are you going? You're not working.
I'm going to town. There's nothing around here but mountains and rice fields. I'll go senile if I stay in a place like this for long. It's because you're not at home that I'm asking my son to drive me around.
I have a job. As you can see, my husband isn't in a condition to work properly. so I have to work for two.
Well, thank you for your hard work. By the way, I'm out of money. Next time, please give me about $500.
What? You've already used it up? I just gave it to you 3 days ago.
That was gone in a blink. It was quickly lost in gambling.
Does my father-in-law go gambling too?
I wonder, isn't he out drinking somewhere? I haven't seen his face for 3 days. I wonder where he's wandering off to.
I hate to say this, but both you and my father-in-law spend too much money. Since we're living together, can't you consider the household a little more?
What? You don't like it? If you won't give it to me, I'll ask my son. I'm sure he'll go to the bank or ATM for us.
Please don't try to move my bedridden husband. I'll pay the money.
Then could you please give each of us $500?
So, a total of $1,000? I can't do that. Please bear with half.
Don't be stingy. You can afford that much, right?
There's a limit to what I can do.
Then why don't you let my son retire early? Then he would get a severance pay.
My husband loves his current job. He's working hard on his treatment with the goal of returning to work. If he's forced to retire, he may lose his motivation to fight the disease. Please don't say whatever you want.
But he won't be able to work again, will he? It's a nuisance to the other employees. He should just quit.
Please don't say such things. Neither I nor my husband have given up. I believe that my husband will definitely return to work.
It's nice to be young. Life isn't sweet enough to open the way with a believing heart. Ava, I'm going to have a drink before I go home, so I won't need dinner tonight.
I see. I can't come to pick you up. Please call a taxi and come back on your own.
What are you talking about? You have time because you're off from work.
I'm busy. The funeral for my husband is over, but there are still many things to do.
Speaking of which, there were a lot of attendees at the funeral. I was surprised that our son had so many acquaintances. He was a shy child.
My husband was well liked by everyone. He was a kind person. I think it was his virtue.
I really think he was a good man. It's just a shame he didn't live longer.
Yes.
Anyway, now that the funeral is over, I have to tidy up my son's belongings.
You can leave that for now. We'll think about that after the 49 days period.
You don't need to wait that long. I want to clean up the room where our son had been bedridden. I want to turn that room into my hobby room.
We're not tidying up the room yet.
Since it's not used anymore, it should be fine. Besides, it's not your decision to make. I'll think about the future. Others should leave already.
What do you mean?
Just what it sounds like. My son's not here anymore, so you're a stranger now.
You're asking me to leave?
Because we're not related by blood. There's no need to live together anymore. The house is my son's memento, so we'll take it. Please leave.
I see. Indeed, strangers should leave. Then I'll prepare for the move immediately.
That's helpful of you. Then hurry up.
Understood. And it seems better to be sooner. Please leave the house by tomorrow.
What? What do you mean, please leave? It sounds like you're kicking us out. The one who's leaving is you.
No. The ones who should leave this house are you, my mother-in-law and father-in-law.
What are you talking about? My son bought this house. We, his parents, will take it.
Are you saying that to provoke me? Or are you serious? The primary heir is the spouse, which is me. I'm the owner of this house. If I say you should leave, you should leave.
My son would never allow that. He acknowledged that we live here.
My husband is no longer here. In other words, there's no one to spoil you anymore. From now on, you will follow my intentions regarding this house.
You, as a daughter-in-law, can't you listen to your mother-in-law? Don't you dare talk back to me.
I'm different from my husband. I'm not obedient to you.
You've been listening well until now. Why are you resisting now?
The reason I was obedient until now was for my husband. If I clashed with you, wouldn't it put a strain on my husband? Stress is not good for the body, so I was just enduring it for him.
Don't you intend to carry on the will of your deceased husband?
Not at all. Leave immediately, or else I'll take legal measures.
Legal measures?
It means to make clear who has the right to this house. Then, you wouldn't be able to interfere.
Wait, you don't have to go that far.
If you don't like it, please leave quickly. If you resist, I'll resort to legal measures immediately. In any case, you have no choice but to leave. So please, do so sooner.
Wait a minute, even if you want to kick us out, it's a problem for us too if you say it out of the blue. You're not a monster to suddenly throw two old people out of their house, are you?
Who knows? I might be a monster.
Did your dissatisfaction with us finally explode? I got it. Give us some time to prepare to leave.
You're just saying that to stay longer, aren't you? I'm tired of your lies. Before we started living together, you said you would help with nursing and housework, but in the end, you used us and did nothing yourself. You even used my sick husband without hesitation.
I've had a backache recently. I wanted to help.
If you have the energy to gamble all day, even with a backache, I think you could have done something. You're always making excuses and being easy on yourself. I'm really fed up. To be honest, I don't want to deal with you anymore.
You don't have to say that much. Anyway, please wait a moment. Please, okay?
No extensions. I've been patient until now.
What is this? All of our stuff is outside.
Didn't I tell you to leave by tomorrow? I said there would be no extensions.
Are you serious? Are you planning to throw us out?
As I told you, mother-in-law, I'm not as lenient as my husband. Because we're strangers after all.
But that doesn't mean you have to resort to such drastic measures. That's too much. I'm sure our son would be disappointed in you.
No, I don't think so. This is also what my husband wanted. He has already given his consent.
How did he give his consent? He's already dead, you know.
Before he died, my husband told me. He apologized to me for causing me trouble by allowing you to live with us. He cried and apologized to me many times. And he told me to abandon you after his death.
What? There's no way our son would say something like that.
He clearly said so. He even left it in writing. He probably saw this coming with you making a fuss.
No way. Our son, who was always obedient.
Hey, mother-in-law. Did you ever wonder why your son was so obedient? Why he endured all the unreasonable treatment?
Our son didn't think it was unreasonable. He was always obedient to his parents.
But he said that his parents were toxic. He was aware that he was being exploited by his parents, and he knew that he shouldn't cause trouble for me, his wife. So at first, he tried to refuse to live with you.
Huh?
But in the end, he accepted to live together. Why do you think that is? I couldn't understand it at all. If I had such troublesome parents, I would dump them in a heartbeat. I may not be able to survive if I abandon them. But I don't care about that.
That's because our son is kinder than you.
Exactly. No matter how trashy his parents were, he loved them. There probably is only one person in this world who loves you, but that one person is gone.
What are you trying to say?
There's no one left in this world who loves you. There's no love between you and your father-in-law, is there? You're just two lonely pieces of trash leaning on each other.
What did you just say? Who's trash?
But you weren't trash from the start, were you?
Huh?
My husband often told me about his memories of when he was a little kid. In the old days, when my husband got sick, you took care of him all night. You used to go on picnics with him carrying a lunchbox going to the zoo. You took him to various places.
Did my son tell you that?
But you became trash because of the influence of my father-in-law. My husband agreed to live together because he believed in you. You might have had a change of heart. You might have really proposed to live together for the sake of taking care of him. With that hope, he decided to accept the cohabitation.
Hope?
But that hope was shattered. You betrayed my husband.
What are you talking about? You're just making stuff up.
There's a can of sweets among the luggage I've taken out. Please open it.
What is this?
It belongs to my husband, but I don't need it, so I'll give it to you.
So what is it?
Inside, there's a gold medal made of origami. Do you remember it? When my husband was sick and couldn't participate in the sports day, he was depressed. You made it for him, didn't you?
Huh? The one I made 30 years ago? Did he keep it all this time?
My husband cherished his moments with you. He loved you. No matter how many times he was betrayed, no matter how unreasonable it was.
I didn't know he felt that way.
Even if you regret it, it's too late. Your son is no longer in this world.
What else did my son talk about? He told you about his past memories, didn't he? Tell me.
Are you suddenly interested in my husband? However, I refuse, because it's none of my business anymore.
I apologize for everything that happened so far. So please.
It's too late to apologize now. My husband is no longer in this world. Regret and regret until the very end, and this house is mine alone, because I was the only one who reciprocated my husband's love. After that, my father-in-law was screaming in front of the house for a while, but my mother-in-law eventually stopped him. I suppose my story must have struck a chord with her. My mother-in-law, holding the dirty candy can in both hands as if it were precious, took my father-in-law away. Since then, I have lost contact with my in-laws, and I heard through the grapevine that they divorced. And 2 years after my husband's death, when I visited my husband's grave, I saw my mother-in-law. When she noticed me, she bowed deeply and left. She seems to have gotten her act together. My husband may have sacrificed his life to change his mother's mind. I am still living in that house, surrounded by dogs and cats. Although a lot happened in this house, the only memories that come to mind are the happy ones with my husband. I intend to protect this house forever. Stella, are you still working? Can you talk for a minute? I have a favor to ask. It's okay because I'm on lunch break right now. What's up? I just got a call from my mom and she made a rather troublesome request, so I have something I want to discuss. A troublesome request? That sounds scary. Well, she asked me to start sending her money from next month. Ah, that kind of request. Is your mother having financial difficulties? It seems so. I see. And? Did you ask how much she needs? She said she'd like about $1,400 a month if possible. What? Isn't $1,400 a lot? She has a pension. Does she really need that much? Actually, it seems that my mom has debts. With that repayment, it seems her life is just scraping by, and she asked if I could help her. Why did she get into debt? She doesn't look like the type to squander money. She was apparently deceived by a dubious fortune teller. Ah, that's it. She seems to have been made to donate money and buy good luck charms. She even went into debt to buy them. That's stupid. What? The fortune teller is doing the same as a scammer. It's heinous to squeeze money out of an elderly who lives on pensions. My mom is a good person, isn't she? Or rather, she doesn't know how to doubt people. She's always been easily deceived. She definitely seems naive. She's the opposite of a realist like you, Stella, so you might not understand. Paying money to a fortune teller is something she thinks is the best thing to do. Even though she was deceived in the end, she didn't mean any harm. I understand that my mother-in-law is not a bad person, but $1,400 a month is a lot. We want to have children eventually and want to save money. We can't afford that. Right, I understand. But if we leave it as it is, my mom won't be able to survive. Her life is already on the brink. Barely making it, huh? She seems to be struggling with what to eat every day. For now, she's surviving on things like bean sprouts. She even reuses the roots of green onions by soaking them in water after using them. Indoor cultivation? That's amazing. She apparently can't even afford eggs, and she seems to have lost a lot of weight. I feel so sorry for my mom, I'm about to cry. If you say it's my mom's own doing, you're right. But I can't leave her alone. I understand. It's okay to send money to my mother-in-law until she pays off her debt, right? Is that okay? Yes, I think that should be okay for now. Thank you. But $1,400 a month, huh? We'll need to review our living expenses from now on. I'm sorry for making such an unreasonable request. Your salary is way better than mine, Stella. I just hoped you could help a little. For now, I'll take it out of the account I've been saving in since I was a new graduate. Should I transfer it to my mother-in-law's account? No, could you hand it to me? I'm going to deliver it directly.
Isn't it troublesome to go there every month?
I need to check regularly to make sure my mom hasn't bought any strange things again. I'm going to check on her when I deliver the money.
I see, that might be a good idea. If she increases her debt again, it'll all be for naught. So my mother-in-law has already cut ties with the fortune teller, right?
I persuaded her and somehow got her to cut ties. I don't think she'll donate any more money. But just to be safe, I plan to stay vigilant in the future.
That's a good idea. Besides fortune telling, there are a lot of shady businesses around these days. So we need to be careful.
Right, I think it'll be okay if I keep an eye on it. Stella, thank you so much for approving the remittance. I'll never forget this favor. I'll tell my mom to save money and pay off her debt as soon as possible.
Please do, because we can't keep sending money forever. Stella, long time no see! Mother-in-law, hello. It's been a while, hasn't it? Actually, I have a favor to ask. What is it? Can I come over to your house today? I was wondering if I could have a meal there. A meal? I'm embarrassed to say, but I don't have any money. You don't have money? Is your life that hard? I've been relying on bean sprouts for a while. Now I can't even afford bean sprouts. I really need your help. Wait, we're sending you $1,400 every month, aren't we? You should be able to live on that much, right? What on earth did you spend your money on this time? What are you talking about? I never received any remittance. What are you talking about? You've been giving it to her, right? Don't play dumb. I'm not playing dumb. I never received any money. I never even asked for such a thing. Huh? We've never been rich, but this is the first time I've had to ask someone like this. That's impossible. For these past few months, I've been giving my husband money to remit to you, $1,400 every month. My husband was supposed to be bringing it to you every month when he came to check on you, right? I really don't understand what you're talking about. Besides, my son hasn't visited me in a while. The last time I saw him was almost a year ago. What? Is that true? I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused right now. Did my husband say he was giving me $1,400 to give you? Yes, that's right. You really don't know anything about this, do you? I really don't know. What exactly is going on? My husband told me that you had made some debts by donating to a fortune teller. Fortune teller? I've never relied on such a thing. I don't remember making any debts. I'm sorry, I thought you had been deceived by someone and lost all your money. That may not be entirely wrong. The reason why I'm struggling so much now is because of my son. What do you mean? I've been giving my son money. What? I haven't heard anything. Can you tell me more about what happened between you and my husband? Divorce me. I can't live with a man like you anymore.
Huh? Divorce? What happened all of a sudden?
Where did you put my money? I didn't think you were such a scum. You're fraudster.
Just calm down. What's with you all of a sudden? I don't understand the situation.
How can I possibly calm down? Where did you put the money I had been giving you for your mother? Give it back right now.
I told you, I gave it to my mom.
Your mother said she didn't receive 1 cent. She said she has no debts.
Wait, you talked to my mom?
She asked me to share my dinner with her tonight. She said she couldn't even afford bean sprouts, so I thought she had been wasting money again. But in reality, she didn't waste money at all.
Did my mom say that?
She said she didn't give money to a fortune teller. What on earth is happening?
Maybe my mom is lying.
Your mother isn't the type to lie so well. Moreover, you are more suspicious than her now.
Wait, why are you doubting me?
You've been on business trips more frequently since this year started, haven't you?
Yeah.
When I confirmed with your company, they said you hadn't been on a business trip even once.
You contacted my company?
I have a lot of money missing. Of course I would contact your company. Don't underestimate my initiative when money is at stake. You lied about the business trip. Where were you going?
I haven't done anything suspicious, I swear on my life.
But you lied about going on a business trip.
left the house, and even deceived me out of money. That's suspicious enough. You probably have a woman on the side. No, I don't. I didn't do such a thing. I was just being a fan. What? What's that? Going to my favorite's concert, handshake events, and collecting merchandise, supporting my favorite. Favorite as in an idol? Yeah. I got into it 2 years ago and got hooked. The $1,400 I was giving you every month, you used it for this fan thing? That's right. Are you out of your mind? Don't deny people's hobbies. It's my reason for living. It's a good thing to have a hobby, and I don't deny supporting an idol, but a hobby is something you do within your means, right? Using $1,400 a month for a hobby on your current income is abnormal, especially when you're having me prepare it. Sorry, I couldn't hold back anymore. Since I started sending money, what kind of life do you think I've been having? I've been saving, stopped drinking my favorite liquor, even downgraded my cosmetics. I had no choice but to give up on the clothes I wanted. And you were carefree chasing idols? I'm sorry. But I've never seen idol merchandise in our house. Where are you hiding it? Actually, I rented another room. I use it to store my merchandise and to watch DVDs alone. You're kidding. You fool. Half of the $1,400 is probably used for the room rent. No, it's a cheap room, so it doesn't even take half. I'm managing it well. That's not the point. You even swindled money from your own mother. She told me you approached her with an investment trust and she entrusted you with tens of thousands of dollars. No, I took that money intending to truly invest it. Then you should give back that money right away. Your mother is in trouble. No, I can't do that. Your mother is living a life where she can't even properly eat because of you. Don't you feel bad? I do feel sorry, but I just don't have the money to pay back right now. This isn't about what you have right now. Tell me the address of the room you use for your idol activities. When you come home today, hand me the keys to the room. Why? Because I want to see the room. Why do you need to see it? I see it because I want to see it. If you're reluctant, is there something you can't show me? Are you hiding something else suspicious? If so, you won't get away with it, you know. I'm not hiding anything. Alright, I'll hand over the keys. You're free to look at the room as much as you want. Once you've handed over the keys, go to an internet cafe or somewhere tonight. Tonight, it's just your mother and me sleeping in this house. My mom is here? I'm going to serve her dinner. It seems like she hasn't been able to eat properly. I'll have her stay over. Neither your mother nor I want to share the same air with you right now. Are you still in my room? Can I come home tonight? A professional is coming now. I'm waiting for that. What kind of professional? A buyer. I'm going to sell everything here. What? The money from the sale will all go to your mother. It's originally our money, so I won't hear any complaints. But all of it? Everything as in everything? I just arranged for a remote evaluation, and apparently some of the items that are well preserved can fetch a high price. Don't sell the premium goods, please. There are items I really struggle to get. So what? The money you used to buy these goods was money I worked hard to earn. But still. And the amount is unbelievable. Your mother is astonished too, next to me. Is Mom there too? Yes, she is. Let me talk to her. What is it? Mom, please don't throw away all the goods. They are more important to me than my life. Oh dear. Mom. Where did I go wrong in raising you? To see you turn into such a pathetic adult. Mom, please. Convince Stella. I'll somehow arrange the money. I won't keep any of the goods. I will do what Stella says. I can't trust you anymore. I've decided to recover the money you deceived from me on my own. Wait a moment. It doesn't have to be all of it. Please leave just a few of the most important items. What are you saying at this point? Please don't disappoint your mother any further. I no longer consider you my son. What's that supposed to mean? Your mother-in-law has nothing more to say. Stella, are you really going to sell everything?
If it's just a few of the most important goods, you can leave them, right?
Really?
But there's a condition.
Say anything.
I said I'd divorce you, but I take it back. For the next 2 or 3 years, even if it takes that long, you repay all the money you used. We will separate our wallets until the repayment is complete, and we will divorce after that.
Is that okay?
But we split the rent and utilities completely. We will also have separate meals from now on, so you will bear your own food expenses. The rest of the money will be used for payment.
That means I can't afford my hobby.
But if you can endure for 2 or 3 years, you'll be free. You can do whatever you like with your own money.
I understand. I will pay it off in 2 years.
You're deciding on a bean sprout life for 2 years. And make sure you pay back all the money you took from your mother. The amount from the sale is far from enough. And from now on, you pay the room's rent.
I'll move out right away.
Of course, you'll bear the cost of moving out.
I wonder if the repayment will really be finished in 2 or 3 years. I don't feel like it will end.
You have to work hard for your idol. They're more important than life, right? Do your best to economize and pay back the debts as soon as possible. After that, my husband repaid the money to my mother-in-law and me every month. His salary was almost gone, and he lived on the edge. He didn't have time for his fan activities because he was so short on money and even started part-time work. My husband initially struggled in poverty, but reached his limit after about half a year. One day he borrowed money from a financial institution, and then he forcefully repaid the full amount. After confirming that the money in my account had been restored, I divorced my husband as promised. After that, it seems that my husband resumed his fan activities with the extra money he borrowed. However, because he sacrificed his living expenses, my husband became malnourished. It seems that he has become skeletal in a few months. His boss at work is worried and seems to be recommending a hospital visit. However, because he borrowed a large amount of money to repay me, it seems that his repayment amount has increased more than before, and he seems to be in a situation where he can't even take time off from work for living. My mother-in-law has been hearing updates from my husband, but she is not providing any support. I think that's fine. If you pamper such person, once they will become parasites. We should be cold-hearted and distance ourselves. Now that I am single again, I have more time and money, so I am looking for a suitable hobby. However, I need to keep my hobbies in moderation.